I'm mute, but my girlfriend treats me like I'm precious. Everyone says I've found true love. Until later, she fell for my stand-in. That guy's voice was deep and gentle, just like mine used to be. She listened to him sing love songs, whispered sweet things to him. But when I signed to her, she impatiently closed her eyes. Stop signing, it's too noisy. I stared at her, suddenly feeling exhausted. She seemed to have forgotten the reason I'm like this is because I saved her, and forgotten that I've always had the courage to leave her. When Anna got home, she smelled faintly of citrus perfume. I approached her, signing, "Why are you home so late? Did you eat with someone else?" I asked calmly, but she got instantly irate. "Johnny, just because you saved me, does that mean I have to report everything to you and live under surveillance forever? Can't I have any freedom?" "That's not what I meant," I quickly explained, signing frantically. "Today is our 5-year anniversary. You used to say we'd spend every anniversary together." Before I could finish, Anna suddenly closed her eyes. "Stop signing, it's so noisy." My hands froze in mid-air. Here we go again. It's not the first time she's shut her eyes during an argument. Before, I'd lose control, break down, even try to pry her eyes open to force her to watch me sign. But this time, looking at her tightly shut eyes, I realized it wasn't her eyes that were closed. It was her heart. My anger, grievance, and pain were just like a cheap pantomime in her eyes, not worth a glance. But it wasn't always like this. 3 years ago, I damaged my vocal cords, permanently saving her from a fire. She held my hand by the hospital bed and promised, "Johnny, don't worry. You can't speak, so I'll be your voice from now on. I'll always be patient, always devout, always remember, my life is yours." Back then, the love was so passionate. Anna's parents, though grateful, hesitated due to their affluent status, worried about her marrying a mute. But Anna stood firm, saying she'd marry no one else but me. My life was saved by Johnny. My heart belongs to him, and no one can stop me. She learned sign language for me, said she'd be my bridge to the outside world. But in the end, it was her who cut the bridge. I used to study vocal music. After my voice was damaged, I couldn't sing anymore. Fortunately, I was still good at piano. I even looked for piano gigs. But Anna always worried I'd get hurt and often left work to check on me. Back then, her family had just taken on a major project. Anna's parents were afraid she'd be distracted and persuaded me to quit my job to take care of her. I agreed. Thus, my voiceless world became even more isolated. Meanwhile, Anna's world expanded as she met more people outside of school. At first, she'd share her experiences, but gradually she came home later, spoke less, and seemed tired of watching me sign. Now I'm tired too. Perhaps what's broken isn't just my voice but our love too. When my last bit of hope was gone, I finally understood. Separating is our final agreement. She wouldn't have to pretend to listen, and I wouldn't have to painfully wait. The next morning, I packed my things and left our shared home. Anna had already left the house. I took out my phone and sent her one last message. "I'm gone. Let's break up." She didn't reply. By now, I'm used to it. I once asked her why she never responded. Was it because she didn't get the messages? She casually chuckled. "What's so important in your messages? It's just trivial stuff. Makes no difference if I read them or not." After that, I hardly ever messaged her. That feeling of getting no response suffocated me. Dragging my suitcase, I first found a hotel to stay in. Then I reached out to an alum from college. I knew she had a music bar and was looking for a piano performer. She had invited me before, but I couldn't go because Anna was against it. When she found out I changed my mind, she warmly welcomed me. She always looked out for me, offered a good salary, and didn't mind my special circumstances. On opening night, everything was going smoothly. That was until a boy in a fine suit suddenly ran over during the break. His cheeks flushed, and he sounded excited. "Brother, I'm going to propose. Can you play something romantic?" As he approached, a familiar citrus scent wafted over. That scent was so familiar. Anna's clothes always had it. My heart sank deeply. My fingers clenched, then slowly released. It must be a coincidence, right? I nodded. As the music resumed, my peripheral vision couldn't help but follow him. And that's when I saw the woman he was heading towards. Anna stood by a table, with a gentle smile I hadn't seen in a long time. Seeing this scene right after a breakup felt too harsh on me. I lowered my head, forcing myself to get lost in the music, and tried ignoring the boy's happy proposal. But when the piece ended and I looked up again, the boy was crying in front of Anna. Though I couldn't hear them from the distance, I could read lips. The boy's face was full of disbelief. Why? I can feel you like me, so why reject me? Anna looked at him with mixed emotions in her eyes. Pity, struggle, and helplessness. Her throat constricted like something was stuck, making it hard for her to speak. In the end, she looked up, her gaze firm yet bitter. I'm sorry. I have someone I must be responsible for. Responsible? Responsible for what? He asked. He saved you because he chose to. Why spend your life paying for it? In the end, I owe him my life. I once promised him I'd marry him. But what about me? The boy suddenly pulled her into a hug. I wish I had been the one to save you from the fire. Even if it left me mute, if it meant having you, I'd do it. Anna's arms hesitated briefly, but eventually wrapped around his trembling shoulders. The way they embraced seemed like a tragedy shaped by fate. Anna. The boy looked up with tear-filled eyes. Tell me honestly, if he wasn't in your life, would we be together? Anna's throat moved with difficulty, and she struggled with her emotions. Finally, she looked him in the eye, her gaze pained yet unwavering. Yes, that word was like a sharp knife, slicing through all the pretenses. My stomach churned, almost making me sick. So that's how it really was. In her eyes, our relationship was just a burden of responsibility and guilt. To her, she was the wronged one, enduring feelings for someone else just to keep her promise to me. The irony is, I never saw any of this coming. The late-night calls, the deliberate coldness, and the citrusy perfume after late nights weren't about work stress. She was torn between duty and love. Luckily, we're separated now. She can finally pursue her love. Hearing Anna's response, the boy's tears mixed with a smile. That's all I needed to hear, he said. He let go of Anna and gracefully stepped onto the stage, grabbing the mic. Next up, I want to dedicate a song to the woman I love dearly. Even though we can't be together, I just want her to know. Right now, I'm finally brave enough to say I love you. When he turned to me, his eyes were still wet. Could you accompany me on Say You Love Me? He asked. In the audience, Anna was looking up at him, eyes full of pain and empathy. The whole scene was absurdly funny to me. They're doing this dramatic romance, and I'm the ex asked to play the sad accompaniment? I stood up quickly, but the boy was lost in his emotions and started singing anyway. The moment he started, I froze. His voice was deep and emotional, almost identical to mine before I lost it. Meanwhile, Anna finally noticed me standing there. Her expression froze too, showing surprise and a bit of guilt and panic. Johnny, what are you doing here? I looked at her coolly, not wanting to talk. What's left to understand? Anna fell for me when she heard me sing in a competition. Then I lost my voice saving her. And now she's into this boy with a similar voice. Is this the classic case of a stand-in? She's disrespected us both. Johnny? You're Johnny? The boy followed Anna's stare and looked at me cautiously, reaching out with fake warmth. Nice to meet you, Johnny. I'm Evan. I've heard so much about you. I had no intention to engage with them. I was about to leave the stage when Evan insisted, grabbing my arm. Johnny, don't tell me you misunderstood my relationship with Anna and that's why you won't accompany me? He said, looking heartbroken. Anna said she'd take responsibility for you, he added. I envy you having such a great woman by your side. Not like me, he said with a longing gaze at Anna. Anna looked pained, about to say something but gave me a glance and held it back. I was tired of it all. I pulled out my phone and typed, Anna and I already broke up. Whatever the two of you have is no business of mine. Evan's eyes widened as he read it. He turned to Anna. Anna, did you break up? What breakup? Anna asked, confused, as she leaned over to see. When she saw my message, she snorted. Johnny, why are you being jealous unnecessarily? I was just having dinner with a colleague. Is that reason enough for a breakup? I pulled up our chat history. I'd already told you we were done. Anna looked taken aback. She obviously hadn't seen my message. Are you done? She said, annoyed. That day we were arguing, I just closed my eyes. I didn't hit you or curse at you. Is it so serious? I put my phone away and nodded. Yes, it is. For her, it was a routine brush-off. For me, it was the door shutting for good. Behind it lay her patience learning sign language for me, the warmth of hands clasped during a fire, and promises never to let me down. She didn't just close her eyes. She closed her forever. Anna wouldn't understand the meaning behind it all. Or maybe she did and just pretended not to. She looked at me defiantly. All those times you left home, you always came back. I didn't embarrass you out of courtesy. Keep this up and I won't indulge you anymore. Strangely, hearing this now didn't hurt like before. I felt calm, devoid of emotion, emphasizing with sign language. This time, I'm serious. Anna stared hard at me, searching for doubt in my expression. Johnny, have you thought this through? All your living expenses these years I provided. You're a mute. You've relied on me to communicate with the world. Years ago, I'd never have believed Anna could say something so cruel. I wanted to argue but didn't want to use sign language anymore. I almost slapped her. But before I could move, my senior, Violet, slapped her instead. Are you heartless to speak like that? Violet stood in front of me, voice simmering with anger. In college, Johnny was the star of the vocal department. If he hadn't saved you, he'd still have his voice. If he didn't take care of you, he wouldn't have given up his career. You think you're his lifeline? You're his barrier to the world. Anna turned pale, then suddenly laughed maniacally. Is she why you're breaking up? She prodded Violet's nose. Were you two a thing the whole time? So you found an excuse to dump me? At that moment, I was utterly disappointed in Anna. Anna, don't project your dirt onto others. Violet's eyes turned icy. Violet gripped Anna's wrist tightly, enough that his knuckles turned white, and signaled to security. My bar doesn't welcome you, he said. Security stepped in, suggesting Anna and Evan leave. Anna flushed from white to green. She yanked her arm away from the guard and glared at me like she wanted to etch my image into her bones. You remember, you're the one who wanted the breakup, not me. I did right by you, she rasped with a voice full of hatred. Then she turned and stormed off. Evan jogged to catch up, looking all excited. He put his arm around Anna's shoulders in a friendly way. This time, she didn't resist. Sorry for bringing trouble on your first day of playing. I texted Violet to apologize. She waved it off, saying, it's no big deal and I meant what I said. If you hadn't saved her, she wouldn't be bouncing around like she is now. It's disgusting how she has the nerve to turn things around like that. Watching her get all worked up made me feel a little out of it. There was a time when Anna would stand up for me like that. But somewhere along the line, I got used to dealing with all the unfairness on my own. I knew that even if I told Anna, it wouldn't really change anything. Are you okay? Violet's voice snapped me back to reality. I nodded, and that's when it hit me. Leaving her wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I used to hold onto this relationship like it was my lifeline, terrified of the pain I'd feel if we broke up. But now there's this strange sense of relief. It's like I've put down a heavy load I didn't even realize I was carrying. Maybe, just maybe, I didn't love her as much as I thought. With every argument he'd shut his eyes to avoid and every dismissive answer she gave, my feelings went out like a candle in the rain. Finally, all that's left was a wisp of smoke. I'm fine. I typed these 3 words slowly on my phone. It's time for a fresh start. The next day, I wanted to sleep in but got woken up by my phone buzzing. It was a message from Anna's mom. Johnny, there's a party for my birthday in 2 days. Can you come by early to check things out for me? I rubbed my temples. Auntie, Anna might not have told you, but we broke up. The chat went silent for about 10 minutes, so I didn't expect her to reply. Then my phone lit up again. I still hope you can come. Over the years, I've grown really fond of you, Johnny. We'd miss having you around. If you're worried about running into her, come early so you won't have to. At this point, it would have been rude not to go. Auntie's been good to me over the years. I already had a birthday gift, and there was something else I needed to retrieve from her. I showed up at Anna's mom's birthday party, handed over the gift, and exchanged a few pleasantries. The moment was a bit awkward. Then, she suddenly pulled out a bank card and handed it to me. "This is a little something from me. Please take it." I recognized the card. 3 years ago, after pulling Anna from that fire, she tried to give it to me. Back then, it held a $3 million thank you for saving her life. I didn't accept it, naively believing love shouldn't have a price. But honestly, I deserved it. On top of what was in there before, I've added another zero, Anna's mom said. "Thanks for saving Anna and taking care of her all these years. It's a shame you guys didn't work out, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise." I understood. Back then, she accepted me only because Anna had insisted. Deep down, she wanted Anna to be with someone who was fully whole. This money was to settle the life-saving debt and any emotional debts cleanly. "You're a good kid," she told me, "and I sincerely hope you'll find happiness in the future. With this money, you'll have confidence no matter what comes your way." I nodded and didn't refuse anymore. I'd sacrificed my career to save Anna and took care of her with all my heart through the years. All those late-night meals, waiting for the door's light, and swallowing my hurt, I should be compensated for that. I took the money, said thank you, and was about to leave. As I turned, I bumped into Anna and Evan. When she saw me, her eyebrows lifted slightly, and her lips curled into that familiar smirk that said, "I knew you couldn't stay away. Didn't we break up?" she said with a deliberate edge in her voice. "Why are you crashing my mom's birthday party?" I glanced at her, too uninterested to even explain, and walked past. Evan suddenly grabbed my sleeve. "Leaving already? Aren't you going to sing happy birthday to the auntie?" He then dramatically widened his eyes. "Oh right, you can't talk, let alone sing. How about," he pointed at the grand piano, "you play the accompaniment while I sing Blooming Flowers under the full moon? You know how to play that, right?" I suddenly felt like laughing. With $3 million in my pocket, their little game seemed like a joke. "Sure." I gestured smoothly, even flashing a whatever smile. "Auntie gave me all this money. Playing for her birthday is the least I could do." Anna's eyes widened, caught off guard by my attitude. She would have rather seen me get insanely jealous over her or be tormented by her cold words rather than this indifference like I didn't care anymore. "Enough." Anna interrupted Evan's show, her voice somewhat raspy. "His hands aren't meant for accompanying you. Besides," she paused, looking at me, "before Johnny lost his voice, he sang way better than you." Evan's face turned ghostly pale. "Anna, didn't you break up with him? Why are you defending him?" Anna didn't answer him. She stared at me with hopeful eyes, searching for something. For what exactly? Gratitude? Forgiveness? That old, humble love she was used to seeing? In her mind, she'd already softened so much. As before, she expected I'd easily come back, and everything would be fine. But unfortunately, this time, she found nothing. "Still mad?" Anna stepped closer, her voice unusually gentle. "I thought about it and yeah, I was wrong last time. You weren't happy because you saw me hugging him, right? It was just a consoling hug after I turned him down. Don't overthink it. There's nothing between us." My eyes darted between the two of them, and I chuckled. Bringing him to her mom's birthday and yet saying that? Who'd believe that? Anna seemed to catch on to my thoughts and continued, "I only brought him so he could sing a birthday song for my mom. His singing is nice like how yours was." Ignoring Evan's increasingly displeased face, she tried to take my hand. "Relax, I've never cheated." I took a big step back, feeling completely uninterested. It didn't matter anymore. Whatever your relationship is, I don't care. I gestured decisively. I was ready to leave, but Anna grabbed my wrist suddenly. Her palm was sweaty, yet her fingertips were cold. She looked unusually anxious. "Aren't you done making a scene?" she asked, voice tight as if she was really puzzled. "You know I promised to marry you." "I will." She was so committed, as if this promise was a mountain she'd carry for life. This was the most she'd spoken to me in a year. But I didn't want to hear it anymore. She made marriage sound like a noble sacrifice. She forgot she once knelt by the hospital bed, begging me with tears to be with her forever. No need. I pried each of her fingers off my arm. Marriage shouldn't be an act of charity. You might be willing to carry this mountain, but I'm not. Anna's expression cracked, like she just realized I was really going to leave this time. I walked towards the elevator without looking back. As the metal doors slowly closed, Anna's pale face reflected in the gap. Weird. Back when she'd close her eyes and ignore me signing, it tore me apart. Now that she watched me with wide eyes, I didn't even feel like turning back. As soon as I left, I went to the bank. Counting all those zeros in my balance, I found a strange sense of peace. With this money, I could do whatever I wanted. I could finally plan out my days. So I bought a house, a nicely furnished second-hand place. The previous owner had moved abroad right after renovating. After signing the contract, I moved in immediately. Standing in the spacious, bright living room, I suddenly remembered a fight with Anna when she mocked me for living off her. But now, in a space completely my own, she could no longer hurt me with those words. Violet kindly helped me expand my social circle. Her friends were nice, patient enough to wait for me to type out my thoughts, and even helped me plan things. One suggested you should try creating content online. With subtitles and music, you don't even need to speak. I thought it was a great idea. If I were to do it, I'd do it right. Every little detail, topics, editing, writing, I'd go over with a fine-tooth comb. I studied the market, looking for the niche that fit me. It wasn't just about sharing my life. I treated it like a career. If I hadn't been stuck at home all these years, I might have forgotten my tenacity. I used to have that drive with singing and playing piano. I wouldn't stop until I saw results. It took a big fire to extinguish that spirit. But fortunately, after leaving Anna, I was finding myself again. One day, I was editing a video of me playing the piano when my phone buzzed. Anna's name on the screen made me pause. She hadn't messaged me out of the blue in a long time. "Johnny, I feel like having your noodles," she texted. It was laughably ironic. She used to say she loved my noodles, and I'd often cook her a steaming bowl. Then she'd start coming home late, dismissing my offers to make it again. "It's just noodles. What's the fuss?" So I stopped altogether. Now she missed it? I didn't care. Blocked her and deleted the message. I owed it to myself to be free. But unexpectedly, that night, Anna showed up at the music bar. She couldn't get in, thanks to Violet's instructions, so she waited outside. "Why didn't you reply or block me?" Anna asked in a hoarse voice when she saw me. "You used to ignore me all the time." I gestured and laughed at how the tables had turned. Anna, without her past arrogance, said I was wrong. "These days without hearing from you, I've been miserable. I finally felt what you used to feel when you messaged me and got nothing." She added, "Johnny, come back. You're living alone in this inconvenient world. Let me take care of you, please?" Her single taste of neglect felt unbearable to her. Yet, I had once endured the sting of her cold shoulder endlessly. Now, at last, I understood her mindset. When you don't care about someone, you really don't want to respond at all. You only feel annoyance. With delayed realization, I finally grasped her past frustration with me. "No," I said calmly. "Why?" she asked, bewildered. "We've been together for so many years. I was going to propose next year. This is because I closed my eyes during fights, ignored messages? Just this?" Yes, it was all those little things. My gestures were slow but firm. They drained my love for you. Drained it? How? She despondently ran a hand through her hair. "You loved me so much you almost died saving me." Yes, I had risked my life for her back then. But my love, as easy as it was to give, could also be withdrawn. As Anna continued to explain, Violet's car pulled up. She rolled down the window, smiling. "Johnny, hop in." I got in quickly, ignoring Anna's heartbroken look. Violet handed me a bottle of warm milk. She really seemed sorry. I shook my head. Anna isn't sorry for losing me. She regrets losing a servant at her beck and call. A mute who did whatever she asked. That guy isn't me anymore. After that day, Anna started bombarding me with messages. If I blocked her, She'd reach out on my social media. She watched every video I posted, sent messages sharing her life, just like I used to do for her. Whenever she saw a pretty flower, a cute cat, or any little daily thing, she'd feel compelled to share it. Yet just like she once ignored our chats, I didn't even look at hers. I'm not playing hard to get, I've just moved on. Now, I'm surrounded by people who want to share life with me. My social media followers keep growing. Many comment on my videos saying they find strength in them. Violet loves sharing her everyday life with me. Most of my messages get instant replies from her. If she can't reply right away, she'll explain why. She never disappears, always responds thoughtfully. I've never felt this cared for, even at the peak of my romance with Anna. Some people just aren't naturally nurturing. I hoped my kindness would prompt Anna to reciprocate. She just took it as her right. I became mute to save her because I loved her. She used that love to step all over me. Violet's different. When I'm good to her, she figures out how to return it tenfold. I know she cares for me. One breezy night, she was candid, "Johnny, I've liked you since college, and I still do. But I didn't agree. Now I feel like an old, emptied-out house, with the marks of the previous owner's nails still on the walls. I don't love Anna anymore, but the scars she left are still there. Letting someone new move in would just be covering old wounds with new dependencies. That's not fair to anyone. I want to be honest with myself. Just because someone is willing to love me doesn't mean I should rush to love them back. I need to fix myself first, heal myself, until I'm ready to like someone new again." I told Violet all of this. She wasn't upset about being turned down. Instead, she gave a gentle smile. That smile was like fireworks suddenly lighting up the night sky, bright but not blinding. "That's okay too." Her voice mixed softly with the evening breeze. "Let's let time give us the answer. No rush, let's take it slow." We still hung out as friends. But from Anna's point of view, it looked different. Anna thinks the only reason I'm not with Violet is that I can't get over her. Otherwise, as a mute, I'd be jumping at the chance to be with such an amazing woman. That's how she sees me, no more than that. Maybe that thought motivated Anna. She started showing up around me more often, acting like she was waiting for me to come back to her side. "Johnny, I'll wait for you to cool off. Johnny, I love you. My promise to you is forever valid." Her persistence, day after day, only made me feel exhausted. So, the next time she started rambling in my ear, I lifted my hand and covered my ears. That motion was like a sharp pair of scissors, cutting off her words instantly. Her face was like it had been paused. Only her eyes kept following my hand, covering my ears, with a pain and despair I'd never seen before. That look was like she'd been stabbed in the chest but was trying to stand tall. Maybe, at that moment, she finally understood, at least a bit, the impact of closing her eyes when I signed. She went quiet. No more desperate declarations in my ear. She just sat quietly outside the bar each night, listening to my music. Seeing how Anna wouldn't give up on me, Evan couldn't sit still anymore. He slipped past security into the bar to find me, his eyes full of jealousy. "Johnny, we need to talk." I didn't see a need to talk to him. Evan obviously understood that too. But he leaned on the fact I'm mute, so he just started talking. "Anna told me, even without you saving her, the firefighters would have gotten her out of that fire. You're really lucky. Just lost your voice, and you got a woman like Anna through that. If it were me, I'd do the same." I just laughed. He'd do that? That fire was dangerous. Nobody knew when the fire trucks would get through. He's turning a life or death situation into some sort of strategy to marry rich. "But she doesn't love you. She feels responsible for you." Evan added, "She told me if it weren't for you, she'd choose me." I lost patience and walked away. Evan kept pushing. Violet noticed the commotion and came over to stop him. Just as I was leaving, Evan finally spat out his real reason for coming. "Johnny, didn't you break up with Anna? Why are you still haunting her? Exes should just disappear, you know?" I stopped in my tracks. This had to be made clear or it would never end. I turned around. Using sign language, I asked Violet to translate. "First, I'm not haunting her. She's following me. Second, I'm done with her. So tell her that a proper ex should act like they're dead and stop bothering me. Evan's eyes widened in shock, like he was processing my words. Are you sure? You don't love her anymore? I nodded firmly, more sure than anything. Evan looked at me, then at Violet standing tall beside me, like he was starting to believe it. Still, he had to ask, "You're never getting back together?" "Never." Evan let out a long sigh of relief. "Good. As long as you're out of the way, I can handle her." He seemed confident, like he had a plan. Let him be. It's none of my business. A week later, I saw Anna one last time outside the bar. She looked a mess. "Johnny, I'm sorry. I can't wait for you anymore." Anna spoke with tearful eyes. She said Evan drugged her, seduced her when she wasn't thinking clearly. She thought his voice was like mine. She mistook Evan for me. "He's just your stand-in." Anna's eyes were sad, and she sighed deeply. Seems she's got another burden now. But isn't this what Evan wanted? He got what he wished for. I just smiled it off, waving the plane ticket in my hand. After tonight's show, I'm flying across the ocean to clear my head. With all this money and no relationship ties, it's time I see the world. It's the bar's slow season anyway. Violet said she'd like to come with me. I agreed. As for where our journey will lead, I'm not setting any expectations. Whatever destiny has in store will go with the flow. I'm not trying to hold on to relationships anymore. I'm just enjoying the connections. Just like how the forest never swears to the seasons, it withers with grace. The rest I heard from mutual friends. They say Anna's been cold to Evan since they got together. She doesn't read his messages, doesn't care about his problems. She only looks at him with emotion when he sings with a voice like mine. Even so, she hasn't broken up with him. It's her duty, her penance. In Anna's words, she and Evan wronged me, so she has to stay in this painful, twisted relationship to atone for it. I really don't care. Okay? Evan's prize turns out not to be what he wanted. Who knows if he regrets it, but at least Anna's got money. You could say he finally crossed the class divide he always dreamed of. Later on, Anna and Evan were in a car accident while traveling together. Evan wasn't hurt much and managed to get out of the car in a hurry. But Anna injured her hands and feet and was stuck, unable to escape. At that moment, all Evan had to do was pull her out from the outside. But seeing the flames on the car, he hesitated, afraid that it might explode any minute. In his moment of indecision, he suddenly remembered the promise he had made to me, that if there was ever a fire, he wouldn't hesitate to rush in and save Anna. Turns out it was harder than he thought. Even if he saved her, it wouldn't have changed the outcome much. Evan kept hesitating on the sidelines. After a full 5 minutes, the fire escalated, until a police officer among the bystanders risked his life and pulled Anna out just before it exploded. Anna suffered severe burns, but she survived. Anna's mom once called me, hoping I could help take care of her. But halfway through the conversation, Anna strongly objected. I heard her struggle and scream on the other end of the line, unable to form even a single coherent word, her moans trembling. Heard that parts of her skin had carbonized, and touching it lightly would make it peel off, exposing the red, raw flesh beneath, oozing with blood plasma. Every slight movement brought excruciating pain. She was still alive, but every second felt like an extension of hell. If it weren't for me, she'd have experienced this kind of pain years ago. Now, her situation is just like a boomerang hitting back. She can't face me anymore. Evan left her too. Seems like even crossing class boundaries with money can't buy everything. But Anna's mom wasn't one to be messed with. When Anna's mom learned that Evan watched for a full 5 minutes without pulling Anna out, she burst into fury and orchestrated a scandal. Evan's social media accounts were flooded with thousands of comments accusing him of staging the accident and attempting murder. Chat logs and scandalous photos he shared with women went viral. These scandals spread like wildfire. When he tried to defend himself, he found all his platforms were limited. Even the market ladies pointed him out as that shameless guy. In a moment of breakdown, Evan attempted suicide by jumping off a building. He didn't die but ended up paralyzed from the waist down, joining Anna in the hospital. As for me, I've already started a new life. That dark chapter, living through it second by second, made me stronger and more resilient. I won't just sit back after a fall. Those old memories are just fuel for my journey. The past is past. Wounds have healed. I'm moving forward with newfound kindness and courage towards new love and excitement.